All right, let's talk about the 3 drills to create more lag in your golf swing. I want to talk a little bit why lag's important as well. But lag is misunderstood. Lag can be overdone. It can also be underdone. And lag can tend to create a lot of havoc in your golf swing if you don't know how to create it properly, and if you don't know the effects of what it can do to the club face. Because at the end of the day, you have to control your club face. Club face is king. If we can't repeatedly bring the club face into square or some sort of consistency with it repeating in the same position over and over and over, that's when we struggle creating a consistent golf swing and a reliable golf swing. We have to be able to repeat the club face. Working on lag can throw that off. So one thing I'm gonna say from the very get-go here, you gotta have the mindset when you're working on lag, be prepared for your direction of your ball flight to get a little off, because it will get off, okay? Because you're gonna lose a little bit of control of the club face at the beginning when you're trying to create lag. That can come back. But what you're gonna have to understand is what happens to the club face when you create lag, and what do we gotta do to start fixing some of the most common problems. But we're gonna cover 3 main drills to create more lag, and then we're gonna talk a little bit about some of the effects that it may have on the club face. But let's start covering some of these drills. So real quick, just to make an assumption, not to make an assumption that everybody understands lag. Lag is a term we talk about when we're talking about this angle on the downswing between the shaft and your lead forearm. No lag, some lag, a lot of lag. Somebody that you think on tour that has a lot of lag is Sergio Garcia. Sergio Garcia creates this massive amount of lag. And yes, there can be too much lag, and sometimes a lot of lag is not a good matchup for you. So whether you have a little bit, a lot, or somewhere in the middle, there's always good and bad matchups. Now, typically we always want to create some lag. We can't not have any lag. We can't be stiff-armed like this. You can, but you won't create any power. So lag is definitely associated with power, okay? And I think it can also be associated with some consistency as well, because if you can't create lag, it becomes more difficult to create forward shaft lean. More difficult, not impossible. I've seen guys with very little lag create forward shaft lean, but it becomes a little bit more difficult in my opinion. Somebody may disagree, but in my opinion. So the first thing I like to talk about when creating lag is understanding what do people do when they don't create lag. Well, they get to the top of the swing and then they have a throwing, this is what we call casting. They have a casting motion, and then that creates a scooping motion. And then some people just come down and they slowly lose that lag and they turns into a scooping motion. Okay, so if we want to stop throwing the club, we actually want to create a little bit of lag and actually get to forward shaft lean, we have to learn how these wrists should behave. Now, lag, let me bust a myth here, is not holding on to this angle. That is not lag. Well, it may look like it creates lag, but that creates more issues. Let me say it this way, that's the wrong way to create lag. The best tour players in the world do not hold this lag to create that angle. They do not hold this angle. They release the club really hard. They're actually releasing the club through impact, but they do not hold that. So then the question is, how do we create lag if we're not trying to hold that angle? Well, here's the answer to that. The best players in the world create lag through change of direction. So what happens is as the club goes back, if my hands and my body start turning towards the target as the club's moving backwards, see that right there? So as that's moving backwards, I change direction and it creates that lag. Now, there's a little bit of a softness to my wrist, a little bit. You don't want just too soft. Some people will say have really soft hands. There's pros and cons to that. And there's in some cases it may work, in some cases it may not. The reason I don't typically teach it that way is because there's got to be some firm grip pressure on the downswing. For anybody that says you have to have a light grip pressure the whole time, it's not true. Because to be able to hold on to the club, you have to put enough pressure onto the club just to be able to hold on to it and have control. Now, you can't death grip it, as hard as you can, like you're shaking somebody's hand, but there's got to be some pressure. So it's mostly in allowing the wrist to have that set on the downswing is more or less what we're looking for, not necessarily grip pressure. You can still grip it decently firm and still allow the wrist to have that motion. But like I said, what's creating that is a change in direction. Okay? Now, most people, when they get to the top of their swing, they do this. They go to the top, and their first move is they push the club. So everything stops at the same time at the top, and then the first thing that happens is a pushing of the golf club this way. That's the very first move. So there's no opposite change of direction because everything stops at the same time. Now, I will say this, here's where there's a little bit of style change. Some people can go to the top and instantly feel this motion. Some people can, but I'm gonna say the vast majority can't, okay? But there are some. That could be a matchup for you. If you can get to the top and your first move is this, if everything stops together and your first move can be to pull and create that lag, great. Okay, I have a drill for that as well. But most people need some sort of change of direction, and that club is still moving as that body moves this way and the lead arm moves this way to create that motion. Now, I'm going to show you my first drill that really helps with creating lag. Now, I'm going to put a little disclaimer on this. This is what I would call a get started drill. It's not going to fix the top of your swing yet. It is going to show you how to create lag, and it's going to help you put the connection. But I promise you, this is not going to fix the top yet. It's just a starter drill to help you connect. Now, through some time, I know you will get it, but this is a starter drill. So what I want you to do is you're going to take an alignment rod like this. You're going to grip the club with the alignment rod in your hand. So just kind of move it around until it feels somewhat comfortable. This doesn't feel comfortable no matter what you do. There is a tool you can put on the end of your club, but in this case, I don't have that. So most of you guys have an alignment rod. You're going to stick it like this, okay? You're going to stick it out your lead side of your body. And what we're going to do is we're going to turn our body, not creating a lot of lag in this specific drill. I don't want you to create any wrist hinge on the takeaway. Normally, it's okay to set your wrist like this and the alignment rod to come off. But for the sake of this drill, I want you to really feel the separation between creating no lag and then creating lag on the downswing. So what you're going to do is this alignment rod is going to rub up against my body the whole takeaway here. Okay, so here we go again. So here, you can see that my arms are really straight. To make this work, you're going to have to turn your chest a lot. And then your first move on your downswing is you're going to boom. That's going to come off. That's going to face the target. You're going to turn through and you're going to hold. So just like this. Boom. And then I would hit some shots and then look at video. I say this all the time. Video, 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 video. You've got to use video when working on your golf swing. So here we go again. So I'm going to do a real easy swing. I'm going to go here, create that motion, and through. In a second, I'll do a 2-camera view, but I just want to show you real fast. And do this real slow. So we're going to go wide, 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 through. And I'm not doing this hard. I'm just trying to get my brain to connect how to create lag. Wide, 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 boom. See how that create that lag? And then I turn my body into it, and you can see that creates that forward shaft lean. The key is not to do this at the beginning, okay? Because then what happens if you do this too fast, you end up throwing. So if you'll stay wide, 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 keep the alignment rod touching your belly, and then first move, do this, you'll get it down. So here we go again. So turn your chest wide, wide, wide. You'll hit it low. I would use something with some loft, like a 9-iron, pitch and wedge, something like that. I would do something with a little bit of loft. I want to jump on TrackMan so you can see the video on that. Okay, so let's take a look at this video. One thing you're going to see, okay, here we go. So you stay to my body, nice and wide turn there. And see that first move, how that changes direction. I could have done better with my body starting first, but I definitely felt it more in my wrist. But you see that motion there? Boom. Does that make sense? It's a really good drill. Now, is this realistic for a full swing? No, not by any means. It's definitely not realistic for a full swing. So this is a very short swing drill. It's to help you understand the connection of how to create forward shaft lean. Now, here's the complicated thing with doing a live webinar like this. There's lots of cause and effect of other things in the golf swing that could not be allowing you to do this. And that's when I would tell you, if you're one of my clients that's local that wants to take a lesson with me in person, I would want to get into your golf swing and look at the top of your swing, because your top of your swing could also have an effect on this. If you're not local and you're watching this from somewhere from a distance, let's do an online lesson. Jump on an online lesson. Let me look at the top of your swing, because that could be causing some of this too. I don't have time to go into that specific portion of it, but I think that could also be a root cause to some of your issues here. That's a great drill. Okay, so let's talk about the next drill that I like to do for creating forward shaft lean. There's kind of a two phases to this, okay? So this is again, it comes down into change of direction drill. And I would say probably start with that drill I just showed you first. But this drill is you're gonna put your feet together, or actually you're gonna you're gonna have a golf ball, you're gonna set up to it, you're gonna step to your right, okay? So notice how this foot didn't move, just set up first, and then step to your right. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna take small swings, and you're gonna feel the change of direction. You're gonna feel like the club stays behind you like this. You're gonna rotate and hit the ball just like that. So as the club's going back, you're gonna start stepping. That's key. You need to have the club going this way and your body going this way. So as soon as the club goes back, you're gonna step so that this starts to move and that's behind you. And you're gonna allow the club to almost float in place back there as your hands start to move forward. So you're going to get this motion. Now I'm going to go ahead and warn you, you're going to hit some really funky shots working on this, okay? You may hit some tops, some blades, some weird shots, but that's okay. That's why I think video is so important here. I'm trying to get your brain to connect how to create lag, because when you're working on lag, it throws off a lot of things. And that doesn't mean you're doing the wrong thing. It just means you now have lost control of the club face for the moment because you're trying to feel the wrist hinge versus the face. So it's normal to struggle with a little bit of ball control or at the beginning, but it's okay. You'll get through it. So here, change direction, boom, and rotate. You're going to set up to the ball. Okay, you're going to step. And these are short swings. These are not big full swings. These are these little short swings. And I didn't hit that great, but it wasn't terrible either. Okay, we'll do it again so you can see this. So set up first. Step back, okay? Go ahead and have that forward shaft lean address. Don't be back like this. Have a little forward shaft lean. And through. And you'll see I create that lag. So let's jump on TrackMan here. See how I'm already stepping as the club's going back? That's key. Now see how I already created that lag, and see how I created a little more? Boom. All right? So I might even call that a phase 2 drill, is that change of direction drill. I would start with this one. That's probably the best one. The most common one I use is the one with the alignment rod, is the change of direction with the alignment rod. That's good. Now you could pair those two drills together if you wanted to. You could use this alignment rod and then on your belly, step, or so on your belly, step, boom. You could do that. Don't make things too complicated, but you could do that. All right, now the final drill that I think helps create lag, it helps a little bit more with, I use this more for helping create forward shaft lean, which might end up being your end result anyways, but I think if you pair these drills together, it'll really help with creating lag, is a towel drill. So what we do is we put this towel behind the golf ball. Let me get rid of that. So you take this towel and you set it about your foot width behind the ball. So I have about a foot's width in between the ball and the front and that towel. So right here, if you're looking, let me put that split view on there so you can see. You can see that there's about a foot separation from the towel. Okay, that's important to have at least that much space, because if you don't have that much space, I think you'll struggle too much with this drill. But what you're gonna do is, I would still start with short swings and build up into full swings, is I would start with these short swings again and wide, 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 create that angle. And then the reason for the towel is if you throw and scoop, you're gonna nail this towel back here, okay? You're gonna nail the towel, right? So what you're gonna have to learn to do is create forward shaft lean. And what you'll have to do is you'll have to feel that motion to get in front, because you're not gonna be able to get in front of the towel throwing it like this. You're just not going to. So by feeling like you have to get over the towel and through the ball, it's gonna help you produce that forward shaft lean and start to create some more lag. So like I said, this might be the last phase of these drills, is to, even use this alignment rod, put it in your hands like this, wide, 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 here, rotate, get the club to hit the ball first and avoid the towel and come through. That'll drastically improve your contact. It's a really great way to practice. So again, we're gonna do this short little lag drill here. So wide, 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 and through. Okay, and you'll see that I'm coming over it and I'm missing it. I'll jump on TrackMan again and I'll show you that. All right, so let's play through this. See how I created some some lag there, and boom, I had to get over it. So I knew I couldn't let go of the lag or I would nail the towel. All right, those are the 3 drills that I like to do when creating forward shaft lean and fixing this issue of casting scooping. Now, again, let me put this little warning label on it. Because you're creating lag, you may do something different with the angle of this club. So try to get a little closer, the angle of this club, and that may affect your ball flight. Now, again, coming back to that biggest misconception in creating lag is they think they hold on to this angle. Well, look what happens if I hold on to this angle. Okay, if I'm holding, see how this club gets underneath? Now the back of my hand starts facing this way, and if you look at the face, it's wide open if I hold it. Because at what point do you let it go, right? Even if you hold it like this, you know, then you're never going to get to the golf ball. You almost have to come like this. Well, a lot of times people get stuck, and then they can't stop the ball from blocking to the right or slicing to the right. So you don't want to hold it. You want to get that change of direction. As soon as that change of direction happens, from here you want to release that club. So the best players in the world, they go here, they change direction. That lag's already created right here. And from right here, the body's turning so hard, they're trying as hard as they can to release that club through the impact zone, because that creates power, that creates speed, it helps launch the ball in the air, and it gets the club back out in front of them so they don't struggle blocking it to the right. Here would be one suggestion. Take a golf ball or a tee, and I would take 3 tees actually, and you're going to set 3 golf balls like this. The first golf ball is the target line. This is left of the target line, that's right of the target line. And what I want you to do is, as you're working on these lag drills, is pay attention to where that face is aimed. Most of you are going to struggle leaving the face pointed towards that right ball. You're going to have to learn how to get the face pointed towards the middle ball, maybe even the left ball, just to feel. So as you create lag, as you come through, you're going to remember to practice squaring up that club face, because what I don't want you to happen is work on this and then you start hitting foul balls to the right. I've seen it happen. It happens a lot when working on lag. And that's normal. I'll tell you that is normal to struggle with that at the beginning. But with some time and some training and some awareness using these balls on the ground or tees, you're going to have more awareness of the club face and not struggle leaving the ball dead right, okay? Again, do not hold the angle. If you feel like you're holding it, okay. If it works, fine. But you're not actually holding the angle. The best players in the world don't hold the angle. They have that change of direction, that wrist angle, that wrist movement, and then they start trying to release the club as hard as they can. All right, I hope I answered your questions, and I hope you're able to create lag. The one thing I'll say is it's going to take some time, and you're going to struggle at the top of your golf swing to create the same lag you do when you do these half swings. That is the struggle, but a lot of times that comes from having some issues at the top of the swing. And this video could be 2 hours long if we start talking about the top of the swing as well. So I'm not going to go into the top of the swing. If you feel like you need some help, if you're local, come see me here in person. You can jump to my website to start that process if you want a lesson. If you are not local and you want to take a lesson, I do virtual lessons. There is a link down in the description of this YouTube video. Click on that link. I'm a Skillest coach, if you want to call it. That's the name of the app that I use, is Skillest. So jump on Skillest. I'd love to help you out and give you some instruction with the top to kind of help you out this lag. Hope you enjoyed this, and I'm going to keep doing them. If there's anything specific you want me to cover in the future, please leave me a comment as well. I enjoyed this video. Catch you guys later. Peace.